And we don't need to debate that it is two different things. It is the same thing. And then, and at that point, now you know what it is. Every time you read Alaya Vijnana or storehouse consciousness in Mahayana Buddhism books, and then mental continuum or Bhavanga Chitta or subliminal consciousness in Theravada Buddhism, both mean the same. And that innermost memory bank, or the karma bank, that's the bank of karmas and memories, right? And that's where all memories and karmic energies, karmic seeds get deposited. You deposit them. How do you deposit? You just fill out a slip, deposit slip, right? Just like you do at the teller. I don't know whether you call the teller or the bank or whatever. The teller at the counter, the banker, right? In America, you call the teller. So even though he or she doesn't necessarily tell you something. So and then so at that point, sometimes you and then your money goes into account. Sometimes you only give them a check, no cash, nothing, because a check is a kind of it's a monetary, it's a document that has a monetary value. It's a note of monetary denomination. So when you deposit that, it goes into account, right? Cash becomes a check, and check goes into account, right? Same way you do physical, mental, and verbal actions in your daily life, as a result of which you send an imprint to a subliminal mind, and that is deposited in that, in the subliminal consciousness, or in the mental continuum, or in your Alaya Vijnana, or storehouse consciousness, and that becomes the permanent property. It's like a fixed deposit, right? Or sometimes it is something that once gone, and it is in there. So that's your karmic energy, right? So it is a mental imprint. It is a mental, psychological imprint that is printed on your subliminal mind, in your mental continuum, in your storehouse consciousness. And that's the power. And even after you leave this life, your mental continuum remains, and the data are never lost, right? The data are always there, and it simply because it becomes your permanent property. So now that's some ideas of karma. See, I'll try to explain that within the shortest possible time. And few minutes. Now the next thing is threshold scenario. What is threshold? It is threshold, as you know, because you are now at the threshold. You are standing on the threshold, and there are two rooms, right, at the doorway. Let's say inside the house and outside the house, building. Inside the building, outside the building. Threshold is between the inside and the outside, right? So in children's language. And then threshold is always an interim stage, like no man's land between two countries, and then doorstep between two rooms in the same building. So that's the threshold, and it's always transitioning. It's a point of transition. And then that's when once I due to some I would say when I was traveling between U.S.A. and Canada once, we got stuck in the no man's land because our car broke down right in the no man's land between the two countries, just a very small strip. And then so that's why we got stuck, and that's when we happened to say we are on the threshold now. So and then so the threshold scenario is a moment, a situation of life. A samsaric situation, I would say, not a situation of life actually. A situation of existence between two lives, between your past life and the present life, or between present life and the next life. and that's a threshold at this point. What happens to you in between? You have almost died from this life. Not yet. You are about to breathe your last breath, and afterwards, but you have already died from your physical body. The mind and mental energy is getting concentrated in your chest, in your heart, or also in brain. It is getting centralized, and then but you are not completely dead, and then and so that you are getting ready to leave, and that's the threshold scenario. And then that's, I think you got what threshold scenario is. And then and then resolution. What is resolution? How long Buddha Gautama? How long did Gautama the Buddha take to become the Buddha? How long? How many years? Long period, like eons, many kalpas, right? So many kalpas. And then why didn't he become a bodhisattva overnight? Well, actually, that's a funny question. Answer is right there. That's why nobody becomes a bodhisattva overnight. Right? Nobody becomes a bodhisattva overnight. It takes you a long period of time to become a bodhisattva. Not just to become the Buddha, to become a bodhisattva. Because first you think of becoming a bodhisattva. First you aspire. You aspire to be a bodhisattva, and then you aspire once your bodhisattva path is complete, and then you aspire to become the Buddha. So nobody becomes a bodhisattva overnight, but you yourself can be a bodhisattva right now. From tonight on, probably you have been a bodhisattva for a while, right? And then who knows? I don't know. It's up to you. And then it depends on the resolution. Panidhana. That's the Pali word. Panidhana. 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 Panidhana means resolution or aspiration. And then it is a resolution, it's an aspiration, it's a determination. The day. And we call this Mano Panidhana. Mano means mental, right? M-A-N-O, Mano. Mano Panidhana means just a mere mental resolution. You know what? Siddhartha. He was Siddhartha in his last life. In his final birth, he was Siddhartha. Final birth during which he became the Buddha. Before that, he had got it confirmed that he would become the Buddha. He got it confirmed by 24 Buddhas. Yeah, 24 Buddhas. And then before that, he had seen millions of Buddhas. That's the point I was going to make. He had seen millions of all enlightened Buddhas. But he never, what happened, why did he only got the confirmation from 24 Buddhas? During those Buddha realms, millions of Buddha realms, he only thought about becoming a Buddha. He only thought about becoming a bodhisattva. It was a mere resolution. Mano Panidhana. In mind, he just thought to himself, it is better if I become a bodhisattva. But that mere resolution itself counts towards your awakening. That's what I am going to tell you. And if you haven't done any resolution, make it. Doesn't matter how long it takes. Just tell yourself, what if I become a bodhisattva? It's good. And it doesn't matter how long it's going to take me to become a bodhisattva. Could be many Buddhas in the future. Why not? I should become. And make that resolution. Every Buddhist must have done the resolution. If you haven't, close your eyes for a few seconds and do that. That you want to be a bodhisattva and you want to be a Buddha. Open your eyes. Think of that. That's the resolution. Why? Now